It is time, guys. We've worked up the courage. We've heard everything out. But now we need to solve one more question. Is Kazuki still alive? Wait a minute, and welcome. My name is Yuusha Anime, and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisiaia. I think this is part 46. Holy goodness. We've heard all of the backstory from Amane, and we are now preparing to see if Kazuki left some proof behind, because Yuji couldn't help but feel that she had planned for anything, and it seems there is a high chance that she is alive, even if it seems slim. But we are going now to find out for ourselves in that same accursed location. So guys, ikimashouka. The very next morning, we borrowed the mini truck from the school, packed the boxed lunches. I said Amane, didn't I? Amane. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I had frickin' Sakura Magical Girl stuck in my head. Right, apologies about that. And readied ourselves to set off for the scene of the accident. At first, we planned to go by train, but the nearest station turned out to be more than 10 kilometers away from the mountain. Driving's far more convenient. Well, with that difference, I'd imagine so. The plan is to make our way to the site, park in the lot at the foot of the mountain, and walk from there. But fortunately, there's apparently been a memorial erected on the site of the crash. Oh wow, which means a path up to the mountain was created as well. We shouldn't have to worry about getting lost. Well, that is very nice. When we first decided on this trip, I had imagined a grueling hike through the woods. But it turns out the memorial is only 2.8 kilometers from the parking lot at the foot of the mountain. Oh wow, that's actually not that bad. That's like an hour and 15 minutes walk. Not bad. We don't need any particularly elaborate plans for the walk itself. But on an emotional level, some preparations are still necessary. Okay, yeah, I could do that. Got it. Parking the mini truck near the Mishima Cape train station, Amane slowly lowers herself out of the driver's seat. Not that it's any surprise, but she seems a little awkward and subdued. Watching Amane walk off with purse in hand, dragging her feet like an exhausted office worker heading off to buy her low-calorie lunch, I heave a little sigh. To be perfectly honest, it's not like I seriously believe Kazuki's alive. I'm sure it's the same for Amane. If anything, this visit to the scene of her ordeal has more to do with Amane facing her own memories head on. I don't think the secret stash of Kazuki's is particularly meaningful. Well, I think I can understand what you're on about, because you don't know whether she's still alive or not. That's still there. My hopes aren't exactly high for some sort of clue, but I'm praying we don't end up digging up something unpleasant. Or there's that. If Kazuki left her last will and testament or something in that hole, Amane might come out of this bearing even deeper wounds than before. Even so, it's been many years since the accident. After all this time, Amane's finally gaining the courage to return. That feels like a significant change. Maybe she'll be able to start coming to terms with what happened. Maybe her burden will grow a little lighter. The point of visiting a grave is to bring comfort to those left behind. That's a firm belief of mine. Do you know what? I can actually agree with that. I actually think that as well. I might have been a little too lost in thought. I didn't notice the man approaching until he was standing immediately behind me. Excuse me? Hi, hello, how are you doing? How the hell do you know me? Yes? The man seemed to pop out of nowhere. Concealing my surprise, I turned slowly to face him. Did he just call me by my name? I'm not famous enough to be recognized by random strangers on the street. I carefully observe his face, then look over his clothing from head to toe with a single sweep of my eyes. A man with a light build, most likely in his mid-40s. I don't recognize the face, even though it's the middle of summer. He's wearing a windbreaker jacket, as though headed out on a fishing trip. He's got a hunting cap on top of his noticeably greying hair. and a beat up old pair of long boots on his feet. I am so confused why this guy even knows me right now. Like, I am like, okay, this happened. Why? On the whole, he leaves a pretty shabby impression, but the cologne he's wearing isn't cheap, and the glasses on his face are a first-class name brand. Oh wow. I don't remember him as a local shop owner or anything, but if he's just some tourist come to fish in the sea, it makes no sense that he'd know my name. He knows about my work, doesn't he? Or he's met Kazuki. Those are the only two possibilities I can think of. Excuse me, but who are you?
おっとっと、ですよね。これは失礼。私は坂下と申しましてね。Amaneさんの大ファンなんですよ。
Alright, now you're giving me creeper vibes. Amane's?
最近なんですか。Amaneさんに彼氏ができたと小耳に挟みましてね。一度お会いしてみたいなと思っておったのですよ。
I feel like this is a trick. I think he was confirming my identity for some reason. That's what I think right now. You came here just to meet me?
いえいえいえいえ。今日ここでお会いしたのは偶然なんですけどね。たまたまAmaneさんとご一緒のところをお見かけしたもので、なぜか妙に嬉しくなってしまいましてね。
I don't know, you have a character sprite, which is why I'm concerned, because that might mean that you have some involvement. Possibly. But then again, so did the bullies with not Sachi. Oh god, I've forgotten nearly everyone's names. What's wrong with me? I spent so long on this route that I've nearly forgotten about everyone. I am awful. I am absolutely awful. I apologize.
ついお声をかけさせていただいたと、そういうことでして、はい。
Why are you in such shabby clothing then and have such high quality stuff? That's got me a little concerned. Is that so? That's a load of crap. Yes. The story is dubious enough, but my intuition is telling me there's something insincere about this man. Yes. I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking that. For one thing, he's forcing his face into a smile by jerking up the edges of his mouth. For another, his eyes are dark and cold, and there's a strange superficial gleam floating on the surface. They resemble 2D wells of oil. This guy's killed. This guy's killed. That's what that tells me. The man stings. His body odor was normal enough, but something about him stings. It's a familiar, unpleasant smell that makes the back of my nose tingle ominously. The scent of bloodlust tinged with madness. Oh no. What are you trying to do? Pardon me, but what do you do for a living?
まあ、こんな身なりですからね。わからんのも無理もない話ですな。ええ、実はつい最近まで IT 関連の会社の取締役をしてたのですが、どうにも生きがいというものをなくしてしまいましてね。
Wait. IT company. Wasn't there one of the cases where Yuusha went out to one of those? Oh, if that's the case, he's been trying to find me.
急に仕事がバカらしくなったとでも言いますか。今はご覧の通り恥ずかしながら無職の身でしてね。
I see. Who is he? At the very least, he doesn't seem to be involved in my line of work. The face isn't familiar, but more importantly, he holds himself far too loosely for a pro. Even the Langley suits who spend most of their time behind desks project a little more menace than this.
それでもね、会社を畳んでみて初めて分かったことというものもありましてね。
Yeah, I can now sense malice from this guy just from speaking like this.
真っ白だった私の頭の中にぽつりと目標のようなものが浮かんできたんですわ。
目標か。Alright, then tell us what this goal of yours is, or your objective.
目標なんて言ったら少し大げさかもしれませんね。
I think it might be an overstatement, maybe.
なんと言いますかね。
Oh,
やり残したことがまだあったんだなって気がついたんですよ。
Yeah, you're here to kill me. Okay. Well, Amane, are you feeling alright?
何がでしょう。ああ、そうか。時間ですか。私は暇ですが、そうですね。いきなりこんな話を聞かされても退屈ですよね。すみません。
He sounds like he's gonna snap at any second. Not at all.
それじゃ私はこれで失礼します。くだらない話に付き合わせてしまってどうもすみませんでした。
I'm gonna keep my eye out for you. I am gonna keep my eye out for you, Sakashita. Wait, Sakashita? Sakashita? Wait a minute. Wasn't that the name of one of the... Oh, I got it. He was the father of the daughter that died at the incident. He blames her. He's not after me. He's after Amane. Oh, shit. Oh, I remember. Oh, okay. Oh, this is going to get serious now, is it? The man abruptly turns around and walks right off, his small hunchback unsteadily swaying back and forth. I watch him as he goes, but all of a sudden he seems to have disappeared into thin air. What the? The sound of his footsteps, the faint smell of his cologne, the sight of his hunting cap weaving forward. I can't pick up any trace of the man. He's melted into the low buzz of the station streets as if he was never here in the first place. Wasn't a ghost, was he? Nope. That's Captain Sakashita's father. That's Captain Sakashita's father. Ooh. Oh. So the death of the daughter probably ruined his entire living, and now he blames it on Amane because she was the only survivor. Oh, and also probably because she hated Kazuki as well. She probably told her father all about it. Oh wow, he could be targeting both of us. Oh no. Oh no. Of course, I don't really believe in any such thing, but that sudden appearance and equally abrupt exit were about as ghostly as it gets.
お待たせ。何？どうかしたの？
No, that's nothing. This weird old man just struck up a conversation, that's all.
変なおっさん？誰？
Don't know. Kind of a creepy one, though. There's no doubt in my mind he's an amateur. But I can't get over the gleam of madness in those eyes. Yeah, those are the eyes of somebody who's given up on humanity. I've seen that gleam before. Those are the eyes of a man who's thrown away everything. Yes. I am glad I wasn't the only one thinking that. The eyes of a man who's fixated himself on one girl, abandoning all for the sake of his country, comrades or family. The crazed eyes of a fanatic. Amane, he called himself your fan. Come to mind? Anyone come to mind?
自慢じゃないけど、私中年には結構モテるからな。誰だろう。
Chunin is middle-aged? Oh, okay, I get it. It's the kanji for middle, and then the kanji for age. No, wait, no, it wouldn't be that one. It would be the kanji for year. Okay, middle-aged. Okay, interesting. I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah.
何？そんなに変な人だったの？
It was like talking to a Grim Reaper in a human form. I've got this sickening tingle in my chest.
やだ、ちょっと大丈夫？
I've experienced something like this before. I don't know when exactly. Probably in early childhood. It's a vague memory that my mind doesn't want to remember too clearly. A dark, unpleasant memory, locked away for many years, suddenly oozes out from a crack in the wall. The old man, huh? I close my eyes slowly as the sensation of cold perspiration grows in my arms. Yuji's freaking trauma's coming out? Hello, excuse me? Okay, we're learning more about him. Trickles of salty sweat roll down my forehead and over my closed eyelids. My hands are clenched tightly into clammy fists. It takes it takes conscious effort to keep my knees from trembling. It's been a while since I remembered. A while since something triggered this psychological trauma.
ユージ、本当に大丈夫？なんかすごい汗だよ。
Yeah, I'm fine.
どうする？今日はもうやめにして帰ろうか？
No, you finally managed to make up your mind to do this. Let's go. The madness I sensed in that man, was it just a figment of my imagination? Did the scent of that cologne revive buried memories of my father in my unconscious mind, leading me into a paranoid post-traumatic delusion? So his father definitely had those same eyes then. Jeez. No wonder he's so affected by this. Whatever the case, at the moment, I just want to put as much distance between me and him as possible. Captain Sakashita's still trying to do some shit from the grave. Gosh, dang it. Our destination's about 2.5 hours away from Mishima Cape by highway. While I'll admit to a little unease at letting Amane take the wheel. Oh yeah, she's a dangerous driver. Or reckless, I should say, not dangerous. It'd be difficult to complain, given her obvious technical skills as a driver. The mini-truck accelerates smoothly as we pull into the fast lane. Its 4-cylinder engine purring.
しまったな。タイヤの空気圧低かったかな。高架のジョイントで少しお尻振るね。
Oh. Well, yeah, since we don't have a load in the back.
どうしよう。次のサービスエリアで止まってエアの調節しようか。
We're gonna see him there, aren't we? Hardly necessary. Any more pressure and it'll ride rough once we're off the highway. Just turn the wheel into the sway and keep our weight evenly distributed. Focus on directing the rear driver's side tire and we shouldn't fishtail.
ちょい踏み気味ってことかな。こんな感じ？
Right, like you're gently turning onto an exit.
ああ、なるほどね。雪道の要領か。面圧の均等分配ね。人間トルクスプリッターだ。
You've lost me now. Yeah, I don't know what a human torque splitter is, and I don't think I ever will. In any case, all I'm saying is, we've got 4 tyres on this thing, so make good use of them all.
難しいことを簡単に言ってくれるよね。私の場合、さらっとやってるように見えるけど、結構大変なんだよ、それ。
I do, but I also know what you can do. I wouldn't have said that to just anybody. Ah, that's cute.
な
What?
んかさ、やっぱユージって和樹の弟だよね。
What's that supposed to mean?
なんかさ、うまく言えないけど、やっぱ似てるんだよ。
Well, they're half and half.
Yuusha.
No, wait, they're full siblings. They're full siblings, I'm pretty sure. Can't deny it. In a lot of ways, Kazuki raised me more than my parents did.
そっか。
Oh. Don't get so transparently depressed at every little thing I say, will you? I don't want to tiptoe around trying to be tactful. It's a pain in the ass.
はっきり言うな。
Nah, he's brutal. He don't give two shits. Kazuki isn't as delicate a subject for me as you seem to think. Not that I can completely laugh it off, but there's no need to get gravely serious every time I mention her name. And for what it's worth, I'm not trying to torture you about her death either.
でも、
Yeah, I know. When you want me to bully you, just say the word. I'll play along unless I have something better to do with my time.
そう
Jesus.
いう意地の悪い言い方、ほんと似てるな。
Don't laugh at me, woman. This is as much as I can do. I push and pull Amane around. Keep her hands full, her hands so full that she doesn't even have the time to get depressed. And in her darkest moments, I scold her outright. You got a responsibility to live for my sake. I won't allow you to run away from it. Aww. Trying to make sure that she doesn't think about it. But it's wholesome. But it's like a weird parent sort of thing, even though Yuji's younger. That's all I can do for her, but I believe it'll be enough. I believe she'll be saved someday. I have to believe that. But for now, Amane still recoils from happiness, sinking into strong depression at the best of times. If the weight grows too heavy for her to bear, she tugs on my sleeve so that no one else can see, then whispers into my ear, always the same words. Hey, bully me, I need my punishment for the day. Please. Tormented and teased, she finds the peace of mind that eludes her in moments of gentle kindness. So you boned. You boned. Or is there some weird play we don't know about here? I've accepted Amane, and that strange, contradictory jumble of emotions just as she's accepted me. We'll work through them together from now on. I don't know how many years that'll take. If anything goes badly, Amane might be like this for the rest of her life. But as long as I'm able to tag along, I will... Just kind of amused at myself, thinking seriously about the future and all that. Oh yeah, I guess so. Everyone does, don't they? Sooner or later, everything that lives reaches the same future. In other words, death. Well, that sounds grim. I've imagined mine a number of times. No, imagined might not be the right word. I've brushed against the very real possibility of death a number of times, implanting the awareness that I might well lose my life that way in my mind. There's always that real chance, and in those visions, I always died alone, without exception. I leave the world with all the dignity of a stray dog in a ditch. No one grieves, no one gets a phone call. My corpse is disposed of in a business-like manner. Yeah, you're definitely an army man, or secret agent of some sorts, if that's how you're speaking. That's how I had always seen it playing out. For a long time, I scraped my way through life, unable to consider even my own path. And now I'm seriously thinking about the future for the sake of the single woman. If that's not laughable, what is? That's an amazingly vague question. What are you asking me specifically? Oh yeah, he did say that. Oh, I get it. You want me to propose? Of course, I'm thinking about marriage as well. But since I've been living pretty selfishly and irresponsibly up until now, it's honestly kind of difficult to even imagine. He's straight up with it. I've never lived the sort of life I could tell others about with pride. I'm pretty sure the idea of leaving any trace of my passing through this world has already repelled me. I didn't want to get married, much less have kids. I don't want to take on anything that would be left behind after my death. Same reason I've never owned more property than I can carry on my back. So that there wouldn't be too much... Oh, god damn it, that's depressing. But I'm starting to think that for Amane's sake, I'd be willing to throw that lightness away. If so, I run smack into a logistical problem. Of course, I'm referring to my job. Yeah, that's the other big problem, because you said you couldn't leave it, right, Amane? The truth is, I'm currently at something of a loss. After another 1.5 years at my job, my field term's up. Should I renew my contract, spend a year as an instructor while sitting exams, and aim for promotion? Or should I resign, become a permanent reserve, and look for other work? Which would you prefer? That's a hell of a question. The biggest difference would be in the level of danger. Just straight to it. If I renew my contract and get promoted, my risk will go way down. But that also means my total salary will drop sharply. Whereas if I become a reserve member, I'll be able to take on a day job, so my earnings depend on my abilities. But when called back for emergency service, my job won't be any less dangerous than they are now. But you know, even if I renew the contract, it's going to be difficult for me to move up the ranks, since I didn't attend a specialised school. He's laying on everything right now. It'll probably take me 10 years to make assistant section chief, and getting any further would be harder still. Maybe even impossible. My base salary today is 187,300 yen a month. Jesus! So he already gets like £14,000 a month. Holy God. Promoted 233,600. So that would be like £18,000 even if I work till retirement age. Maybe. Jesus, he's got all the maths down. £35,000. Jesus, it's not impossible to get by on when you add in the benefits and bonuses, but right, our company has got a pay scale, so the salary corresponding to every rank is clearly defined. For the moment, at least. But that's also depending on circumstances. If an emergency develops and some big shot says protect me even if it costs your life, I wouldn't be able to
嫌
disobey.
だって言えないの？
No, sadly not. Well, you could try, but when your superiors say volunteer step forward, hanging back isn't really an option. When you get right down to it, that's what they're paying us
そう
for.
なんだ。
But then again, if I die on a job as a formal employee, there'd apparently be 100 million yen payment to my family.
そういう問題じゃないと思う。
You get 700,000 pounds. No, 70,000 pounds. That's not a lot. That's not an awful lot. No. If I become a permanent reserve instead, I'll still be called up for emergencies, but operating under the table, I can work a little more flexibly. In other words, I'll be able to play dirty behind the scenes without anyone complaining. I might be able to pull through serious crises through skill and craftiness. Not an option for a normal
結
employee.
局どっちが安全なの？
As long as there aren't any dramatic upheavals in the world, renewing the contract and becoming a regular employee carries less risk. But in the case of a large-scale emergency, being a reserve would be comparatively safer.
微妙。
Yeah.
ユージはどうしたいの？
He doesn't know, I don't think. I think that's why he wants to ask you. All things considered, I'd want to become a permanent reserve and look for another job. Yes! Yes! Yuji's making up his own mind! I like it! If we get married and start a family, I want to be able to tell my kids what daddy's job
あ
is.
そこまで考えてるんだ。
He's thinking welfare. He's all the way to the moon. Don't sound so surprised. Just whose fault do you think that is? A little while ago, I wasn't thinking more than a day or two ahead at most.
それっていいことなんだよね。
Well, I'd hope so. Probably, yeah.
私はユージの決めた方で構わないよ。
This is adorable. I love
契
this.
約更新してお給料が安くても私も働けばいいことだし、他の仕事に就きたいならそれでも構わない。
Even on permanent reserve, they're going to keep me on a short leash for 5 years. I need to apply in advance to move in a new home or travel abroad. And I won't be free to pick any job I want
そ
either.
れでも他の仕事がいいんでしょ？ 大丈夫。仕事が見つからなかったら二人で長距離トラックの運転手でもやろう。
Would you seriously be okay with that?
いいんじゃない？私タイヤのついてる乗り物大好きだし、意外と似合うと思うな。
Oh yeah, can I just say, how long is this road? Because I think we've been going the same speed for ages right now. Well, come to think of it, I do have a lead on a job, I guess. Not that anything's been settled yet, but the principal floated the idea of taking me on a Mihama.
先生になるってこと？
Nothing's decided yet. I mean, oh yeah, she did say that, didn't she?
でも何の先生になるの？そっか。うちって体育の先生いないよね。体育の先生は？
Do you see these abs? Like I keep trying to tell you, nothing's decided yet.
でもそれすごくいいと思うよ。さっきの子供の話じゃないけどさ、パパは先生ですってすっごくわかりやすいんじゃない？
Yeah, I guess so.
そうか。
Aww.
そうだよね。結婚か。
This is adorable. I'm loving this. Like, after we got out of that sickly freaking flashback, we're now into pure sweetness and I love it. Give me more diabetes. I was planning to introduce myself to your family pretty soon, but marriage would be a ways off yet. Had to get a job first at the very least.
そうだね。それでも嬉しいな。なんだろう。なんか急に生きる希望？そんなのが見えてきた感じ。
Adorable. That's a good thing. I love it. Optimism, if you put it nicely. Wishful thinking, if you don't. I think it was Kazuki who told me they're both manifestations of psychological self-defense mechanism that keeps us from committing suicide. Well, okay. that was a dark sentence, but whichever this is, I'll take it. I don't think daydreams and theoretical scenarios are going to save Amane, but it's not a bad place to start. And now here's where I get really worried. And the reason that I'm worried is I'm pretty sure Sakashita's father has been stalking Amane. So I think he's actually been following us here. I do not feel safe. I do not feel safe at all. We arrived at the parking lot beside the mountain a little while after. a little while after 10, slightly behind schedule. Since we didn't know where the trail up the mountain began, we stopped into a diner and asked around. But apparently the crash site has become somewhat popular among local kids as a haunted spot. Okay, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. I mean, when you have urban legends in some areas that you'll never have in another, yeah, of course kids will make it like a little rumour place or something like that. So the answer was received as, what, you two? And a judgmental glare. After we explained that I'm a bereaved family member, they finally pointed us toward the unmarked entrance. The utterly deserted path up the mountain had a gentler incline than I had expected. Oh. Oh, and those trees. Hello. Please don't fall on me, leeches. Oh, please don't. The locals rarely set foot in here, and a trickle of visitors has slowed over the years. So the trail's neglected and overgrown by now. It's been halfway reclaimed by the primeval forest. Hey, you telling me there's going to be dinosaurs here or something? Not too far beyond this tangled jungle, we'd glimpse a private golf club with neatly manicured grounds, but on this hike, our scenery consists of bristly waist-high grasses swaying in the breeze, trees sticking out of the harsh soil at odd angles, and the slanting, rocky path ahead. That surprisingly gentle incline didn't last long either. 10 minutes into the forest, the slope quickly grew intense. Thanks to the vigorous exercise and high humidity, my back's quickly soaked in unpleasant sweat. Damn. Noticing Amane's begun to lag behind, I come to a halt and turn around to face her. You alright? Yeah, same thing as I thought. You alright, Amane?
大丈夫。当時に比べれば全然歩きやすいし。
Well, you're much bigger now. The path's fairly wide, and you're not so starved as before either. The path's fairly wide, probably cut through the forest with the installation of the memorial stone in mind. But even so, now and again we run into steep stretches of rock that we're forced to scramble up on hands and knees. Since we're not pushing through thick grasses as we go, it must be significantly better than it was for Amane back then. But it's decidedly not an easy stroll.
こんな道が
Well, yeah.
あの当時にもあればね。
Now you're saying that now? Yeah, they made it after. There's no way. If the event never would have happened, that path would never have been there. It would never have been there. Deciding to interpret Amane's words as a monologue, I turn without comment and once again push forward on the rough mountain path. The further we advance, the twistier the road grows, the more frequent and severe its up and downs. Just as an experiment, I take out my M2 compass and open the lid. At a glance, the magnetic needle seems to be pointing north. Maybe dry compasses are harder to influence? But having finished sighting, I lower the compass to chest level and the needle immediately begins to shake. Yeah, so the compass would have even been useless out at this point. Wow. And when I place the compass on the ground itself as a test, the needle swings dramatically and fixes itself in a completely impossible direction. I take out my phone and flip on the GPS, as if to say, well, how about this? But while the latitude and longitude display accurately, the mapping gets me nothing but a no-signal message. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Sakashita guy's gonna be following us. Come on, I know I'm saying it, but I'm waiting for it. There is no way you are telling me that he's not going to appear again. I see. This is rough. I'm standing on a well-defined trail right now, so I don't feel any anxiety. But a quick visual survey of the surrounding area reveals nothing else that could serve as a landmark. Without this path, glancing over your shoulder for a moment would probably be enough to completely throw off your orientation. He's going to try and separate us, isn't he? He's going to try and do something to Amane. Oh god. Where a powerful blizzard may create a temporary whiteout, a jungle this dense produces a permanent greenout. We spent maybe 3 hours now hiking up the mountain. It's been 30 minutes since our third short breather. I'm just about to suggest taking a second longer break when I notice that Amane's grown extremely quiet. The look in her eye suggests that we've reached familiar scenery.
多分こっち。
Oh. Letting Amane take point, I follow a little ways behind. Before long, we arrive in a gaping, rocky ravine surrounded on all sides by overhanging trees. I think the bit that's so heartbreaking is they were literally 3 hours away from road. Through horrid forests. 3 hours. Damn.
ここはあの当地とほとんど変わってないんだ
The
ね。
bus is still there and everything. Well, okay then. The rusted, ruined bus is still lying where it fell 6 years ago. Most likely it's simply impossible to remove it from this place. Yeah, if you tried to hoist it from above, the crane might actually come down with it, come down to meet it down here.
そっか。あっちの方向に進めば3時間ぐらいで道路に出られたんだね。
That's what I just thought. Dang it. If you had a trail... Oh, damn it. Sorry, my bad. If you had a trail leading right to it, even when aiming directly for a clear landmark, it's often impossible to keep yourself travelling in a straight line through a dense forest. You take so many detours to avoid obstacles that your direction will eventually be thrown off. And she was much smaller back then, so they must have been much more when they were smaller. Jesus. I'm loving this soundtrack, by the way. This piece right here. I feel like a sort of contemptness from it, I guess is the word for it. In my company, new employees receive compass-based navigation instruction as part of their final training. After mastering basic compass operation, the final part of this little course involves throwing the newbies into a dense jungle with only a rough handwritten map, and absurdly demanding they find their way to a specific point. Given a halfway adequate path, it wouldn't even be a challenging hike, but in a primeval forest without even animal trails, it's no joke. Yeah, because at least with animals, you can see that they are familiar with the area, so of course they'd know where to go. In the end, the majority lose their way and give up, and these are adults who've just spent a number of days learning how to orient themselves under difficult conditions. In some cases, they'll spend a good 4 hours or so hiking through the woods with the crude map in one hand, only to find themselves back where they started. The instructor's sneering. What's wrong? Forget something? If anything, you did a hell of a job finding your way out of this place at all. Yeah.
私が脱出できたのは偶然みたいなものなんだと思うよ。本当にこっちで合ってるのかなって、私自身半信半疑で歩いてたし。それでも和樹の言う通りにしていればきっと助かるって信じていたから。
You did, and you done it. As she spoke, Amane's downcast eyes fixed on the dignified striking granite cenotaph. What the hell's a cenotaph? Ah, god damn it. Oh no, that's the stone. It's the memorial. Okay, sorry. I got it. Standing before us. It seems to have been a while since the last visitor. The flowers placed before the monument are thoroughly withered, and the offerings of drinks and cakes have clearly been battered by the elements. After cleaning them away, Amane silently places the bouquet and snacks she bought in Mishima Cape on the table set up for offerings, then sets up and lights her incense sticks.
みんな来るのが遅くなってごめんね。
I'm going to be quiet for this bit. And this bit's like this. Crouching down in front of the stone, Amane shuts her eyes and brings her hands together.
正直私はまだみんなのことが怖いよ。でも逃げてるだけじゃどうしようもないから、私もう逃げるのをやめるよ。私が逃げ出した後、みんながここでどうなったのかはわからないけど、きっと楽な死に方はできなかったんだよね。みんな死んじゃったのに私だけ生き残って、許してなんて言えない。許されようなんて思うこと自体がずうずうしいことだって分かってる。だからもう謝らないよ。あとその代わりこれからはずっとお礼を言うよ。みんなありがとう。
Nice. Nice. I am loving this too much. I'm loving this too much. Damn it. I know you can't see my face cam anymore, but my damn cheeks are pink. Amane's praying with an earnest, intent look on her face, but I can't think of anything to say at the moment. The monument. God damn it. It's just a stone in the end. I know Kazuki's not in there, but it's not that I'm stubbornly clinging to that cold realism. I simply can't find the words to speak to my sister. I've never been able to handle this sort of thing very well. Years ago, when my American classmate Daniel Vaughan died on the job and I rushed over to his funeral, it was the same. Staring at Danny's coffin wrapped up in the stars and stripes, I find myself at a loss. Hey Danny, you're kidding, right? The first Marine's Iron Man couldn't possibly have died, right? You're just going to pop up out of that thing and yell, "Hey, shorty, something wrong?" with that shit-eating grin on your face, right? Stop with the crappy jokes, Danny. Those were the only words that popped into my head. And no words can reach the dead. If you want to talk about something, talk about the reason they're gone. No matter how we feel about the matter, people die all too easily when the circumstances demand it. Seeking the reason for the death of Kazuki and the others, I once asked JB for copies of the investigation reports. Years ago now. Unexpectedly, the documents indicated most had died of acute digestive diseases, specifically orally transmitted infections, mainly colitis and hepatitis. Oh god. The investigators conjectured the group had died in rapid succession, perhaps 2 to 4 days after symptoms first emerged. The source of the infections was almost certainly the bushmeat they had added to their diet. Oh wow. So that would have been what had happened to everyone else, most likely. Jesus. It had to be, right? Because Kazuki said a similar thing. Like, if you eat meat after not having it for so long, you'll develop ulcers or something like that, or an oral disease. Was the origin of their illness the dog they'd eaten after its death and sickness? Or perhaps...
みんなをバラバラにしたのは誰なんだろうね。
Yeah, they ate people. Right. Yes, the corpses discovered in the place had all been severely mutilated, with the lone exception of Yoshihiko Ochi, the club's advisor. The club advisor was the last one left then. The disturbing scene dominated coverage of the accident, overwhelming the truth through sheer spectacle. The phrase dismemberment murders took on a life of its own, ultimately leading to public suspicion that the sole survivor might have been the criminal responsible for leaving those gruesome corpses behind. Truth is, they were a collective. They were all doing it. But take a halfway serious look at the results of the investigation and you see the autopsy suggested the bodies had been cut only after death. And since Amane had escaped from the valley before the estimated times of death for most of the corpses, it was simple enough to surmise she couldn't be responsible for their mutilation. Exactly. There were plenty of whispers and internet rumours suggesting that Amane must have deceived the investigators about the timing of her escape. How could you estimate the time of your escape when you've lost what track it... Oh wait, no. It was Kazuki that was keeping the time. Yeah, the whole time it was Kazuki keeping the time, right? But in any event, this was received by the authorities as the speculation it was, and the potential case against her was never pursued for insufficient evidence. So that means that she's innocent, because of innocent till proven guilty. So many people are quick to judge on things today to go to guilty until proven innocent. That's not the way the world works. You need evidence to convict someone. If there's no evidence, you presume them innocent, unless you have solid proof that is actually valid and legal in courts. Only then can it be sufficient, and then you can say they're guilty. But in any event, this was received by the authorities. Oh wait, I've already read that. The next target of the buzzard's innuendo and slander was Yoshiko Ochi, recorded in the report as the only corpse among the 13 discovered intact. After all, the mass murder of female students by their own teacher was an even more attractive storyline for the classmates scum of the world, the classless scum of the world. Yeah, I can believe that. And that's the problem of when you rush onto a story without having all of the evidence. You need to freaking research everything you have before you put out a news story, you prats. Since it had a stronger tinge of scandal than the alternative, the media leapt onto this new theory with all the enthusiasm of a dog thrown red meat, adding in insinuations of sexual assault toward his pupils just for spice. I think the sexual assault part might not be true, because I think with Sakashita it is definitely consensual. I definitely think it was consensual with Sakashita. I felt suspicious of those two the whole time. I did. It had to be. With their slander, they tore apart Ochi's starved, pitiful corpse far more cruelly than any knife could have. In consideration for the extreme, extenuating circumstances, no posthumous charges were ever filed against Ochi. But much like the lone surviving girl, society presumed him guilty. Who cut them up isn't the problem. To keep history from repeating itself, the only thing that matters is understanding why. Sadly not. Some people are sick like that. The hell's wrong with this country anyway? Maybe I don't have the right to complain. I don't think it's the country. I think it's the media. We all rely on the media all the time. We do. We take most of the time their word for it. Then people set their own opinions from it, and some completely outright deny it without even reading it, or read it and then just think it's not correct and then do their own research. Anyway, I'm going on weird tangents. Apologies about that. Maybe I don't have the right to complain as someone who was born and raised in Japan and never tried to change a thing about it. But I've also seen this country from an outside perspective, and it routinely makes me sigh in disgust. Wherever you go, people are fundamentally no better than they are anywhere else. I know that rationally, and I've experienced this many times, but it always brings on a nauseating surge of bitterness. I'm fully prepared to die the unappreciated death of a stray dog. Still, every time I feel this familiar wave of disappointment, I can't help but wonder what I've been crawling through the mud for. Makes me want to vomit. Amane? Are you done yet? I'm starting to feel a little sick to my stomach. Yeah. But I don't want to hang out in this place longer than necessary. Let's dig up whatever Kazuki buried and get out of here. Alright. It's been about 50 minutes now. I'm gonna continue just that little more. I want to see what's in the bag, and then I'm gonna end this part off. I think that's gonna be the best way to do this. Reasonable enough. There's no telling what's going to come out of that hole. Even Kazuki's last will and testament might not be so bad on the scale of possibilities. I mean, you would then have closure. Considering the circumstances back then, if by any chance we were to dig up her decapitated head. Even understanding that the idea is absurd, I learned a long time ago not to put anything past Kazuki, even the physically impossible. Kazuki, huh? For a long time, I'd almost never spoken my sister's name, but lately it's been different. On the black cenotaph, presumably built by the families of the victims, their name is listed with all the others. The names of the 13 who died in this place. Kaneda Saya, Komori Megumi, Hiroka Tamaki, Sakurai Mifuye, Shikanai Tsukasa, Ozawa Yoko, Okabe Tomoe, Sakuma... Oh, for God's sake, why did the name thing pop up? Sakuma Minori, Ibuki Haruna, Kazumi Kazuki, Ochi Yoshihiko, Koideritsu, Sakashita Chiaki. I remembered. You ready? As I run my eyes across the list engraved into the smooth stone, something catches my attention. Sakashita Chiaki. That name. Hold on.
ですよね。 これは失礼。私は坂下と申しましてね。Amaneさんの大ファンなんですよ。
Could it be a coincidence? No, that's...
ユージどうしたの？
He's here. He's here. He's here. I know he's here. I know he's here. It makes total sense. Oh god, now I'm nervous. Quiet. What is this? There's something unpleasant in the air. He's here. He's here. I thought we were just going to see the bag, but... No. I'm going to end this part here. I'm sorry, but I've got to. I've got to say this part here. I've got to. I have a feeling this bit's going to go on longer than the amount of time I have. Oh man. I'm nervous. But, as I said, I'm all out of time. I hope you guys look forward to the next part. But that's all from me. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me. And I shall see you in the next video. So, guys. I will most certainly see you next time. Oh, I'm scared. Oh boy, I'm scared.